So today we're going over my Christmas haul here, so stay tuned. Okay, so it is currently Christmas Day as I'm filming this, so Merry Christmas to all my subscribers out there. And so today I'm going to show you my Christmas haul that I got here, and which I'll probably review all these visually. And so we'll probably start with the G.I. Joe stuff first, and then I'll work my way to the Star Wars stuff there in front. So let's get started. G.I. Joe stuff. Here we have I got 4 classified series and a vintage figure there. So starting off here with Quick Kick. As you can see, unfortunately, I don't have the vintage Quick Kick, so it'll probably be a little while before I review him, because I like to have the vintage figure when I review these so I can properly compare them. So I'll probably wait to review this figure until I find the vintage one. So as you can see, pretty cool. I'm not going to get into detail yet because I'll wait to do all that in a review. Now, one thing I've always thought was absurd about Quick Kick is he doesn't wear shoes. To me, that is crazy. Apparently he has taken inspiration from Cody Lundin. And, because he could get taken out by anything, really, like, sharp rock, piece of glass, and it's not about toughing out the pain either, like, Hooded Cobra Commander 78 said, because you're not going to tough out an infection on the bottom of your foot. So that's always something about Quick Kick I've never really understand. Because in the first episode he appeared in, the Sunbow animated series, he was in the snow without a shirt or shoes on. So, that is, he would have horrible frostbite from that in real life. But, okay, but anyway, moving on here, I also got Rock and Roll. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the vintage one either. I do have the vintage machine gun. I actually have quite a few of them, but one of them still has the bipod on it, which is good because the bipod is very expensive now, so I'm glad one of mine actually still had it. But as you can see, very classic looking Rock and Roll here. They took inspiration from the version 1 or 1.5, because 1.5 was basically the same version as version 1, just with this little articulation. So they took, because there was 4 different versions of Rock and Roll in the vintage line, so they took inspiration from the first 2, which I'm glad, because I like the first 2 better than the other ones. But the other ones weren't bad, but I just prefer, this is what I think of when I think of Rock and Roll, so I'm glad they went this route. But you see, really cool. Got the bullets on his chest there. His M60 machine gun, which the original machine gun looked like a hybrid between the MG42 and the M60. But as you can see, you also have a different option too. I'll show you when I do review this. You can have like the belted bullets coming out, or the big box mag there. Which I'd probably just play with the box mag, because it's a little more compact. It's not going to get in the way as bad. Now, I did find out that the bullets will come off the top of the magazine, because I dropped it and I found them. Thankfully, I did. So be careful of that, like I said. So probably review him soon. So now moving on here, I also got Beachhead. If I can get him out without knocking anything over. So here is Beachhead, as you can see. And now I do have vintage Beachhead. I actually have 2 of them. One of them's got a broken crotch, but the other one's still in good shape. Unfortunately, he's incomplete. But I do have the figure, so I'll probably will review this one soon. And Beachhead's always been one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters. And one thing I like about Beachhead is the only member of the Joe team who is from the same state I am, of Alabama. So that is something I've always liked about Beachhead. And I also like his coloring really goes good together too, like the forest green and the brown camo, the forest green, camouflage on it. His coloring is really goes good together. And he's kind of reminiscent of Firefly. He kind of has a very similar look, but still, pretty cool. Like I said, he's one of my favorite, Joe characters. And now, also here, move this out of the way, so I'll fall over. I also have the classified Dr. Mindbender, and as you can see, obviously based on the first version. I think there was a second version, Dr. Mindbender in the 90s, but this is obviously based off the first version. And as you can see, he's got the monocle, the mustache, everything. In the Sunbow animated series, Dr. Mindbender was responsible for creating Serpentor, and which that whole thing wasn't my favorite thing about G.I. Joe. I prefer more military stuff with G.I. Joe, but it is what it is, I guess. yeah, I mean, Serpentor had its place, but like I said, I prefer Cobra Commander than Cobra. But as you can see, so, he's pretty cool. You know, he has some wild colors, but weirdly they actually go together, in my opinion. But like I said, very classic look for Dr. Mindbender. And believe it or not, Dr. Mindbender actually made a live action appearance in Rise of Cobra, which I'll get into that when I review Dr. Mindbender. So, and talking about Dr. Mindbender, I also got the vintage figure here, which as you can see is obviously what the classified series, based on, I won't say classics, classics is Master Universe. But now this figure is complete. I don't have holding accessories because I tried to get him to hold him, but my figure here has a kind of a tight grip. I didn't want to risk cracking his thumb off, so that's why I didn't put the accessories in his hands. But I have them here. Here's what this thing's based off of. I can't remember what that's called. And also here's his pistol. And I also got the file card back here. You see me move a minute ago. So you can go ahead and pause that and read it if you want to. But now there was a variant to Dr. Mindbender's cape, which I don't have, but this is the embroidered emblem, which I prefer because the other one had like a patch that was on the back, and the patch is bad to come off and come unglued. So I'm glad this one has the embroidered patch. I probably end up buying the other one just to have, but you know, I will, if I do put these on display, he will be displayed with this cape. And this is kind of like a felt material too. And unlike Serpentor, Dr. Mindbender's cape is actually pretty sturdy. So yeah, pretty cool stuff here. So like I said, I'll probably review Dr. Mindbender soon. Okay, for Star Wars stuff, you know, not as many as G.I. Joe, but you know, still some pretty cool ones I got here. So first one I'll go over here is I got I don't know how to pronounce the name, Chimera from the Acolyte, and as you can see, I was pretty excited when they revealed this figure because you know I thought this figure is really cool. Sorry if my light's getting kind of dim. My batteries are going dead, but as you can see, I always thought this was he looked really cool and everything, and he kind of reminded me of Kylo Ren the way his helmet shaped, which I believe what they were going to do is he was supposed to form an answer friend, is what I've seen somewhere on YouTube or something, but you know, pretty cool stuff. And his lightsaber does split into the, you know, one with the shadow saber like he did in the show. And unfortunately, you can put them both together, and you can take the blade off this one and put it on the other one there. But unfortunately, the small handle doesn't stay on the peg is kind of short there, as you can see, and it wants to fall off easy. So I'll probably display them like this. So I'd be careful of that. You might end up losing the bottom piece of the saber. So like I said, I'd be very careful about that. And also over here on this side, I have the Black Series Dagan Gera from Jedi Survivor, which I wanted this figure in the other one there. I'll explain in just a minute because I played both Fallen Order and Survivor, and I really like both of these games. And as you can see, this version, they made two different versions of Dagan Gera. This is the one where he's missing his arm. They made a second version, a 2-pack with a battle droid that had his Force Ghost arm that he had towards the end of his part of the game, because he didn't die. If you don't hear any spoilers, we ain't played the game yet, go ahead and just fast forward. But so toward the end of his part of the game, when he dies, he has the blue Force Ghost arm. So like I said, he don't die like at the end of the game, but kind of towards in the middle. So I might end up buying that version too one day, but this is the single arm version. He's got his lightsaber there, which looks really cool. I always thought his hilt was really ornate, looking really cool. Now he's also got the red blades, which because he had fallen to the dark side, but his lightsaber was yellow until he bled his crystals. Obviously, his lightsaber can split into two like he did in the game. Now, unfortunately, this figure can only hold one of them, or like this. If you had the Force Ghost one, he could hold both of them. I think it'd be cool if they took and made a normal, like a pre-cut off arm version where he's got his normal arm and a yellow lightsabers. That'd be kind of neat. That'd be pretty easy to do. You could just repaint the Force Ghost version and then give his lightsaber yellow blades. That would be pretty easy to do, in my opinion. And my light is getting bad dim here. But I also got this one here from the same game. This is Night Sister Marin. And unfortunately, I don't have Cal Yeah, they did make her in 6-inch form too, which I may end up getting that one too later. Yeah, but like I said, I really like this game and everything, so that's one reason I wanted this one too. This is also based on her appearance in Survivor, because she wasn't in Fallen Order, but that was a little bit different. I'll get into all that uh, when I review this figure. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Now, she did come with the uh, green magic effect, everything, and a hand to hold it. And I haven't tried swapping it out yet because I'm afraid I'll break the peg off or something. Because my Emperor figure, he has Force Lightning hands, and one of his joints ripped in the hand, so unfortunately he's missing a hand. So that's why I haven't tried that yet with her. So that's basically my Star Wars stuff. So thank you for watching. I look forward to reviewing some of these and everything. And Merry Christmas.